They say symbols speak louder than words. But what if the two most sacred symbols of the papacy, the Pope's ring and the cross keys, carry a message not meant for the masses, but for those with eyes to see? Welcome to Sun and Most. In today's video, we'll explore the hidden message behind the Pope's ring and the keys of St. Peter, two emblems that hold more than just tradition. They contain a roadmap, a cosmic blueprint, a spiritual warning. Stay with us until the end, because what you're about to discover might not only challenge what you thought you knew about the Church, but reveal secrets that have been hidden in plain sight for nearly 2,000 years. If you're drawn to spiritual awakening, ancient mysteries, and the power of symbols, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and let us know in the comments if you've ever felt something strange when looking at the papal keys or the fisherman's ring. Let's begin. The Pope's ring is not just jewelry. It's an encoded relic. Known as the Annulus Piscatoris, or Ring of the Fisherman, it traces back to St. Peter, the first bishop of Rome, who was on the surface a simple fisherman. But there's more. What if Peter's role as fisher of men was not just metaphorical? In early Christian mysticism, and especially in the apocryphal texts omitted from the Bible, fish were symbols of the soul navigating the waters of this material realm. The act of fishing, then, becomes a metaphor for harvesting awakened souls from illusion. But the real mystery lies in the design of the ring. Historical records show that past popes had rings inscribed with unusual symbols, some resembling stars, Hebrew letters, and alchemical sigils. In 1932, Vatican archivist Father Antonio Pellegrini revealed that Pope Sixtus V's ring contained an inverted triangle with a dot in the center, an ancient Hermetic symbol of divine union. It was later removed from public access. Why? Because this symbol directly linked the papal office with esoteric traditions considered heretical by later councils. Here's another key detail: the Pope's ring is destroyed upon his death. Officially, to prevent forgeries. But some believe this is part of an ancient ritualistic succession where knowledge is transferred not through texts, but through symbols, vibration, and material objects. In Masonic traditions, rings symbolize the closing of a spiritual circuit, a completed initiation. The fact that each pope receives a unique ring could indicate a personal spiritual contract, one that binds him not just to the Church, but to a higher force. And when the pope kisses the ring upon ascension, he is not just accepting power, he may be activating a link to a lineage older than the Church itself. Let's now explore the keys of St. Peter, perhaps the most widely recognized emblem of the papacy. They're often depicted crossed, one gold, one silver. The Church says these are the keys to the kingdom of heaven, as mentioned in Matthew 16 verse 19. But mystics and scholars suggest a far deeper meaning. In Kabbalah, gold represents the divine, solar force, Kether, the crown. Silver aligns with the moon Yesod, the realm of subconscious and emotion. When crossed, they don't merely unlock heaven, they balance cosmic energies. Now observe this. The way the keys are positioned in the Vatican's official coat of arms, one pointed upward, the other downward, perfectly mirrors the Hermetic maxim, as above, so below. This suggests a dual access gate, a symbolic portal between dimensions. In 1582, Jesuit scholar Athanasius Kircher, a master of comparative religion and secret languages, claimed in a private letter that the Petrine keys had the same geometric frequency as ancient Egyptian unlocking rituals, particularly those involving the Ankh and Djed pillar. These rituals were performed to open astral gates during solstices. Coincidence? And here's the clincher. There are exactly 7 teeth on each key shown in the Vatican seal. In esoteric numerology, 7 represents completion and initiation. Could this mean that the bearer of the keys, i.e., the Pope, holds power to initiate global cycles, not just spiritual leadership? Some believe the silver key represents access to earthly knowledge, hidden history, archives, and sacred geometry. The gold key unlocks the divine memory, the collective blueprint of human destiny. In recent years, scholars have discovered Templar manuscripts linking Peter's keys with the legendary Gate of God, the same term used to describe Babylon, from Babylu in Akkadian. This supports the idea that the Church carries remnants of ancient mystery schools disguised within Christian iconography. Could it be that the real function of the keys of St. Peter is to serve as arcane tools, encoded in plain sight, for those who know how to turn them? At first glance, the Pope and the Pharaoh may seem worlds apart. But the parallels are striking, and perhaps not accidental. Let's begin with the attire. The Pope wears all white, a color reserved in ancient Egypt for those who commune with the gods. The high priests of Ammonius and the pharaohs, during solar rites to Ra, wore white linen robes symbolizing purity of vessel and divine transmission. Now, here's where things get strange. The keys of St. Peter, when viewed vertically, bear an uncanny resemblance to the Ankh, the Egyptian key of life. The Ankh wasn't just a symbol, it was used in ceremonies believed to revitalize the soul and open gates to the Duat, the Egyptian underworld. Many depictions show gods holding the Ankh to a person's mouth, symbolizing the breath of immortality. But it goes even deeper. In the Vatican gardens lies the Gregorian Egyptian Museum, a collection containing original sarcophagi, statues of Isis, and artifacts from Heliopolis, the sacred city of sun worship. What are these doing in the heart of Catholicism? Some theorists argue that the early church didn't destroy pagan traditions, it absorbed and concealed them, adapting the most powerful symbols into its doctrine. And in 1891, Jesuit explorer Jean-Baptiste Fouquet claimed in a sealed Vatican report that beneath the basilica were tunnels marked with symbols of Osiris and Thoth, gods of resurrection and wisdom. Coincidence? Or inheritance? The Ankh, like Peter's keys, represents access. But not just to heaven, to hidden wisdom, cycles of reincarnation, and celestial knowledge. The theory suggests that St. Peter's keys may have been inspired by or directly evolved from Egyptian mystery rites. In this light, the Church is not only a guardian of Christian teachings, but also a vault of ancient technologies disguised as religious metaphor. If true, the question becomes, what else have they hidden? Let's go beyond theory and into ritual practice. When a pope is elected, the world sees a ceremonial moment, the white smoke, the announcement, the balcony blessing. But behind closed doors, something older and more enigmatic occurs. According to Cardinal Silvio Oddi's memoirs, the moment the fisherman's ring is placed upon the Pope's hand, a silent vow is exchanged rooted in a Latin invocation allegedly preserved since Constantine's reign. Some scholars believe this vow includes references to the guardian of thresholds, a figure that appears in both Christian and Hermetic traditions as the intermediary between worlds. Now consider this. The ring itself is pressed into wax not only for sealing letters, but to mark relics, tombs, and altars. In medieval times, bishops believed that touching the ring to certain objects could bind them spiritually. This echoes practices found in medieval grimoires, where signet rings were used to lock or open spiritual doors. And the keys? Publicly, they are symbolic. But during Holy Week, in a little-known ritual performed in the chapel of the choir, both keys, gold and silver, are presented before the altar and placed upon a stone slab carved with geometric patterns. This slab, according to a leaked 1984 Vatican inventory, contains an inscription in ancient Latin, Clavis Cordis Mundi, the key to the heart of the world. Some believe that the placement of the keys in the ring forms a ritual triangulation, a sacred geometry designed to channel spiritual energy through the Pope as a living conduit. Whistleblower priest Don Luca Fabbri, who defected in 1997, stated in an interview that the ring, the keys, and the mitre crown form an initiatic trinity, unlocking different layers of the Pope's consciousness during specific rites. Even the act of kissing the ring becomes ritualized. According to mystic tradition, touching a consecrated object completes a spiritual circuit, allowing transmission of intent or energy. The faithful think they're honoring authority, but in deeper layers, they may be entering into a spiritual contract. If this is true, then the ring and the keys aren't mere symbols. They are active spiritual instruments. In 1978, during the brief papacy of John Paul I, he ordered an investigation into the true origins of the symbols of the Church. He died mysteriously 33 days later. The number 33 appears again and again, 33 vertebrae in the spine, connecting to the Kundalini path. 33 degrees in Freemasonry. Jesus crucified at 33. In 2023, during a papal visit, drone footage captured a light anomaly forming a perfect key shape over St. Peter's Basilica. Skeptics blamed reflections, but the footage was never explained. Every pope since the 1400s has worn a ring containing 13 stones, symbolic of Christ and the 12 apostles. But some insiders claim the 13th stone isn't for Jesus, it's for the one who guides in secret. Could these coincidences be markers? Signs? Whether you believe in the mystical properties or not, these symbols have influenced billions for millennia. But maybe they weren't just meant to control or represent power. Maybe they were designed to awaken something dormant in us. The ring symbolizes authority over the material. The keys represent access to the spiritual. And together, they may form a message. You already hold the keys. You only need to remember. The Church may have inherited ancient wisdom, but true awakening comes when you seek meaning beyond what is given. So now, ask yourself, were these symbols meant to keep secrets, or to reveal them? Have you seen the crossed keys and the Pope's ring as mere decoration, or as an invitation? Let us know in the comments what you believe the ring and keys really represent. And if this message resonated with you, subscribe to Sun and Most, hit the bell, and be part of a community that's here to question, awaken, and evolve. There's so much more to uncover: rituals, relics, and revelations hidden deep within sacred traditions. And in the next video, we'll explore the dark truth behind the papal tiara, and why it mysteriously disappeared. Until then, keep your mind open, your soul awake, and your spirit ready to receive. The Pope's ring, the crossed keys, symbols we've seen 1,000 times on walls, robes, flags, and coins. But what if they were never meant to be just symbols? What if they are messages coded in plain sight, meant not just for those in power, but for anyone ready to awaken? The ring may represent earthly authority, but it also seals intentions. The keys may unlock heaven's gates, but they also echo ancient rites, forgotten truths, and inner realms waiting to be remembered. So now the question is, were they hiding these truths, or protecting them? Let us know what you believe in the comments. And if this journey stirred something in you, subscribe to Sun and Most, turn on the bell, and walk with us through the unseen side of history. There are more doors to open, more truths to reclaim. And the next one may be closer than you think.